Hey Brick Maniacs, welcome back to another Friday Sit Rep. This week we're featuring a new Black Panther Sherman, as well as two different versions of the Vietnam Guerillas, so let's jump in. Okay, kicking things off with the M4A3 tank from the 761st Black Panthers Tank Battalion. So Nate, this is a pretty special project for you, Cool Stud Inc. Specifically the name of this bad boy here. Tell me a little bit more about how it came together, this passion project for you.
So I uploaded this story on Instagram a while ago, but basically I've known about this specific Sherman since about 2019. I made I made my original version back then with the older Yin build that I did, but like last July, like, hey Dan, I got a suggestion for Black History Month. Like, what's this? And then I showed, like, we don't want a regular blank Sherman. I'm like, oh yeah? It's like,
here we go.
Fair enough. And then to my surprise, it actually made the list, and here it is. So this one tank in particular was part of the 761st Black Panthers. I had a story about one of the guys who went by Smitty Smith. I think it was around the Battle of the Bulge where one of his cool studs, because this is actually cool stud number 4, where it actually got like, yes.
We have a little ambiance music going on here.
The perfect Battle of the Bulge soundtrack. Anyways, I think his tank either got like stuck or in a trap, so he actually had to get out and hide from Germans. I don't have the full story on me because I read it like a month ago and forgot where it was. So.
Fair enough. Check it out though.
But yeah, if you find it, link in the description. Ow, my finger. So as for this build, it is very different. So different I broke apart the tank tracks. I blame the rug. Feel free to cut that.
Yeah, we'll cut it out.
Okay, so for this build in particular, Dan was like, we need a new tank. And I said, okay, so I'm going to take the previous M4A3 and do none of that. Halo reach. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so basically this tank is built directly to the blueprints, as all of our builds will be going forward. Yeah, like I built it from the ground up. The basis was similar to the M4A1 that I did, because that's sort of going to be the chassis basis going forward, because they're Shermans. They should relatively be the same size, even if they do look different.
Right.
Like you can like totally take off the older 75 turret and just put it on here, because that's all the difference would be. Oh, also, you're wondering why you can just take off the turret like this. Well, another interior.
Now that's cool to see.
Oh, no, I can do you better.
Look at that. Brick-built engine and interior space for a driver with controls. I mean, that's elite right there.
Yeah, if you remove this one panel, you can try and fit 2, but I would just go with 1. And you can also, not suggested, but here's like a better look at the whole engine.
But it comes apart nice and easy. Way to build on those components.
Yeah, no, this is going to be like the basis going forward, and I'm going to make it as accessible as I can. You also have this turret stabilizer for when it's moving.
Yep.
Rolls better than I thought it would, actually.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, I am very happy with this one, and this is just the beginning this year.
Yeah, very, very exciting for what comes next. So let's talk a little bit about printing details that we have on this bad boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is my personal one. This is not exactly what the decals would look like on the final model, but it should give you a good idea of what it's going to be. There's going to be wraparound turret printing here. There's actually a little paint going on each side. Printed barrel all the way.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really cool to see.
Yeah, names all over the tank. So the cool stud, these themselves will actually be stickers, because we simply couldn't cross print that entire thing.
Okay.
And there will actually be 2x8 plates on both ends with the serial numbers and camo printed on it.
Very cool.
So it's going to have more of a seamless blend. It will come with 1 minifig, but by this point the crew's going to be out. So.
It'll be next week.
Oh, well.
So that it actually releases. Yes, we are going to do a Black Panthers crew pack that you'll be able to get for this coming up next week. That'll just be a straight up release as opposed to this pre-order. But when they ship, they'll all ship together.
Yeah. But yeah, you get one dude in here and possible crew pack, then you can have a full crew of 5.
Right.
So it's going to be perfect. And yeah, that should be about it. Also, opening hatches on the top. This one,
Gotta have those.
this one, this one's a bit of a squeeze. I couldn't figure out how to build that without. You might have to like take off the legs to put him in here, but I might fix that for later in the year. It's foreshadowing. But for what it is, but aside from that, yeah, this is a absolutely solid build. I would recommend because I'm going to buy one.
Yeah, it is absolutely phenomenal. Not only the details and the printing, obviously the minifigure, but just the composition of the build itself. Definitely created by an American armor expert. So well done, Nate.
Yes, expert.
The M4A3 Black Panther Sherman, available right now for pre-order on brickmania.com. Make sure to check it out. Nate, thanks for checking in.
Pow.
All right, heading back over to the Vietnam era, we're taking a look at the OH-6 Loach, which I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about this release not being a pre-order. It's just available right now on brickmania.com, which is awesome. George Hicks model. Brennan was our project manager, so he's going to tell us a little more about this pretty much decked out teeny little helicopter. I mean, for as small as it is, there's a lot going on here.
There is a ton going on. So we've got, you can already see so much with this. We've got 2 awesome minifigs for you here, one with an amazing cavalry hat. Put on there. Don't know if you can get a good look at these guys.
Yeah, we got them.
But they're super slick. Don't know much what else to say.
Pretty elite mustache on one of them. That's
seriously,
about covers it.
that is better facial hair than I will ever do. But yeah, so we've got the minifigs, but really we're here for the helicopter. You can already see we've got this little. Slime and I were talking about this. It's a 2 that makes up the L of Little Caesar.
Okay.
But it's like, it was confusing to him. We're like, is it 2 Little Caesar? Is it Little Caesar the second? What is? But that's the name of this chopper. We got lovely United States Army, and both of those are on both sides of the chopper. You can see we've got the danger arrow leading up to our rotors in the back here.
Including what looks like some top printing going on there on that back tail boom.
We've got this lovely white stripe that continues from a brick build to some printing there. And then we've also have the same arrow on the other side, as well as the other printing. You may have seen this bright yellow square that looks more fitting on maybe a tank or something. I remember seeing some of the World War II tanks had those yellow triangles.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the meaning of it. I assume it's something to do with the air cavalry. But we've got that. We've got the rotors here, which have their nice little yellow tips to them. Got a little intake in the front, as well as, if you can see here, the front of the canopy's got that nice split right down the middle.
No stickers on this bad boy whatsoever. That means your canopy is printed.
Printed canopy. So there's that, and then it's hard to see. I can see if I can get this open.
Looking at the control panel, oh yeah.
Here, we'll pop this off real quick and see if you can get a good look at that.
There we go, we got it.
Yeah. So this thing is absolutely decked out with printing. You got an awesome minigun sitting off the side of this thing.
And that's kind of interesting. It's like a minigun barrel integrated with some bricks.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting take on just making a minigun, because I've seen people do, let's take the minigun chassis from brick arms and let's just integrate that into something. But this was like, you know what? I can stick the barrel on something that's, a lot tighter and probably, it looks right from what I've seen of this chopper. That looks like the right kind of mount that they would put this minigun on. So I'm very impressed with that. And all of this in such a tiny little kit for such a cool little helicopter.
Well, and it's solid and swooshable, which is what you want as well. Obviously, I was going to say there's those 2 spots in the back where you can zoom this thing around, which if you were a fan of the Little Bird kit and appreciated that, or the most recent Cayuse as well, all of those have been really swooshable builds, and this is no exception. No exception
whatsoever. Awesome little helicopter. Super crazy just to see some of the crews that worked out of these things.
I bet.
I mean, you have that minigun there, but I've also seen guys just literally holding an M60 machine gun and just holding it out the window, like whatever. There's one guy who has a bunch of thermite grenades just stuck under his cockpit seat, which is not where I would keep them.
Yeah, no kidding.
But there's really nothing that says screw you to a forest like pulling out a thermite grenade and just chucking it into the jungle. Yep. So.
Well, and obviously served in many, many roles, most primarily as a scouting helicopter.
Hence, light observation helicopters, which is where we get Loach from.
There you have it. Well, like I said, no pre-order for this bad boy. This is available right now, ready to ship on brickmania.com. Brennan, thank you so much for checking in. All right, we're moving on to a very anticipated minifigure release. These are the new Vietnam Guerillas, both with perfect caliber SKSs, kind of in their different forms. Designed by Landon, so he's here to talk a little bit more about these. Just before we dive in, I will clarify, the perfect calibers are included with the minifigures. They are not standalone yet. They are available with these minifigures, so it is the full bundle. Everything you see here is what you get.
With the Vietnam ones, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
yes, not the M14. We'll get to that one
We'll
in
get
a
to that
second.
in a second, yes. Just making sure. Where do you want me to begin?
Man, well, let's start with the perfect calibers
Sure.
because we haven't seen. I mean, the SKS itself is brand new.
Yeah.
And so from prototype released by Will to perfect caliber by Brickmania, I mean, I think only the M14 beats that turnaround time.
Right.
This showed up really, really quick.
Yeah, it's nice to get like kind of first crack. Slam did a wonderful job on the artwork on these perfect caliber. He's really delving into it to get that wood grain detail, and I think it's a newer style that he's working at with this on these SKS here. There's a bit of like shading going on to kind of represent like maybe a really well-worn like, wood pattern. So really beautiful pattern that he has going on there. So it's stowed and fixed bayonets, and those come with the minifigures. Let's start off with the stowed one.
Okay.
That's with the female Vietcong. Here we have the SKS ammo pouches. It's interesting. You'll see them. I think they're just made in like China. Just it's made out of whatever material they can get. So this is on these two minifigures. I opted to choose two different fabric types.
Oh, cool! That's a great idea.
Right. So it's the blue ones, sometimes you would hear people say, oh, it's just for the Navy, like naval infantry, but that's not necessarily the case. I think they're using whatever fabric they could. And so this is like former prison garments, like you'd see that often turned into like this kind of gear. So you'll see that's popping up here. Tons of pouches. You'll see this particular harness is interesting. You'll see special forces, like U.S. special forces, using them on occasion as well, just because it can hold so much.
Look at that
ammunition, right? So that was interesting. Have the neck wrap there going on. A pretty sparse, simple loadout. Some just interesting notes. New 3D printed headgear on both these guys. So this is representing that. It's kind of like that boonie cap style. From what I've seen, I think they're based off of the previous French occupation in Vietnam. The French had a hat similar to this. So you see lots of French gear actually during the Vietnam War.
Which would make sense.
Right. And same thing with the shoes here. Those are some just like canvas rubber soled shoes in that French style. So I think they continue to make them in some fashion or just use up the old stock. Right. And that's kind of, there's a lineage that's the sort of precursor to the modern combat in some ways. So, or modern combat boot in some ways. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see there.
Should point out too that 3D hat and hairpiece are integrated together. That is not something that splits.
Yep.
Just
kind of a nice opportunity. Again, with Vietcong gear, it's all over the place. So sometimes you see these hats in olive, sometimes you see them in tan. Just all over the place.
I dig the blacked out look.
Yeah,
because
I kind of wanted a nice blacked out look for this one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Moving on to the male, and he's got his fixed bayonet. Again, it's just like, it's cool that we got a chance to kind of debut some artwork on this SKS here and pair it with a equally interesting minifigure.
Grenade adds a nice little
he's
pop
got a
of color
grenade.
there.
It's a slightly different configuration. So he's got a grenade, and he's also got a little pistol tucked away in his belt there. And then both of these minifigures have a canteen on the back.
Yep.
So, yeah. I can't miss the feet, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Minifigure toes are unsettling. And
Yes.
Whatever. But you did see these guys.
It's also accurate.
You did see these guys wearing these sandals, probably made out of like old tires and stuff. It's just they're using literally anything they can get their hands on. And so you see sandals a lot. So.
Well, and as a pair of standalone figures, considering, not to say that anything is necessarily poorly done, but these compared to the previous Vietnam
What are you
Guerillas
saying,
are
man?
They're hardly even the same figure. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's definitely
the leaps that have been made.
more than just a generational jump. So
Yes,
I've
I
had
agree.
time to work on refining my art, and so it's been a journey. So here's the latest iteration of where we're at.
Yeah.
we'll see where we go from here.
I can't wait to see some of these turning up in Vietnam mocks. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yes, let's move on now to the M14. So the Hue Marines we've been restocking all month. We do have some of them in stock. And obviously, we've been wanting an M14 for so long, but you saw into the future.
Yep.
And last year, you made figures with the appropriate pouches,
Yep.
so you just knew this day was coming eventually.
We've been trying to get the M4. It's been a long time coming. We've requested this for years. We finally got it though. So the American rifle, right? America rifle, M14. It's you still see iterations of this rifle today.
Yep.
So it's pretty well known. Used pretty dispersed everywhere, right?
Yep.
But yeah, pick that up. It goes perfectly with the Hue Marines. They get their USMC, they special kind of pouches that are just sort of unique to the USMC of Vietnam era. And this just kind of completes the package. Looks great. These all kind of just look nice little display models on their own.
Yes, absolutely.
So just to note that this M14 is available by itself, right?
Yes, and I should make a quick note on that too. So remember that because that is still in Will's of Brick Arms prototype phase, that is the reason for the price differentiation compared to what you would see with our other perfect calibers. Because normally, when we're bringing something into perfect caliber stage, it's one of the dollar Brick Arms, mass produced, readily available. These M14s are still being hand injected by Will. They're still in that prototype phase. So that is the reason for the kind of different price point for that build. But the demand is there, and so we wanted to make sure it was available online. And as you can see, it looks absolutely spectacular in this lineup.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Well done, my man. All of this available right now on brickmania.com. Landon, thanks for checking in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so that'll just about do it for the Friday sit rep. Tomorrow we hit the road to leave for California to go get those stores ready to open. So hopefully that will be within a short period of time after there. If you notice anything different over this next week, that would be why, because we got a crew on the road. Remember, if you were in the Vallejo, California or San Diego, California areas and you would like to join the Brickmania team, please do not hesitate to reach out to us via our careers page, because we are definitely actively seeking people to join our endeavors in both of those locations. That will do it for the Friday sit rep. Thank you very much for watching.